My gamer era continues. Hey there, creepy peeps. I have been doing Twitch streams for well over a year now, and I'm loving now being able to kind of like pepper in some horror gaming videos like this. I feel like I'm covering like the full spectrum of the horror genre. At this point, between movies, books, and now video games, we just love spooky storytelling of all kinds. Let me know if there's any other markets I'm missing. So I thought I would share some games, some more on the cozy side, some more on the scary side, all of them creepy, that you can play for the Halloween season. So in no particular order, I'll start first with Cabernet. This is a 2D narrative RPG set in 19th century Eastern Europe. You play as Lisa, who starts the game dead, and then we wake up as a newly turned vampire. We play as Lisa trying to learn the vampire ropes while also trying to balance relationships between various humans and fellow vampires in town. I like that there are different ways that you can play this game to change the story. You can make choices that lean more like humanist or ones that lean more nihilistic. Both choices have their pros and cons in the game and lead to different outcomes in the end. You can also romance certain characters throughout the story. And while we played this over on Twitch, I was continuously joking about forming like a vampire polycule because I somehow inadvertently ended up romancing like every available character. I thought the story was also really well done. There were various plot lines following these different characters. All of them kind of end up asking questions about what it means to be immortal and how that affects your approach to certain life situations. It was super interesting to play as a group and to be able to discuss these things in game, while also just having fun being a vampire and getting to do fun things like bite people and turn into a bat and turn invisible. It was so much fun. Highly recommend. One game that I recently finished over on Twitch is Costume Quest. This is a party-based RPG where you play as one of two siblings on Halloween night. And while trick-or-treating, a monster kidnaps your sibling and you have to fight throwbogs and witches and all sorts of beings to get them back. I love the Halloween theming of this one. You have quests throughout the game, like actually trick-or-treating and getting candy and getting into other Halloween shenanigans. And along the way, by completing these quests and like discovering items, you get materials to make more Halloween costumes, and each costume gives you different abilities in battle. The humor was really great in this game. It's very funny, and I adore the combat in this game. The costumes transform you into like these mecha versions of whatever your costume is. It definitely reminded me of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the best way. I got into the combat scenes so quickly, like I was very into it, and you can boost your abilities by getting candy from trick-or-treating. It's all great fun. I highly recommend you play this one this month for sure to get you in like the trick-or-treating spirit. Then I have Crow Country. Crow Country is a survival horror game done in a visual style of like iconic 90s horror games like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. The narrative also takes place in the 90s, where we're playing as Mara, who's investigating the disappearance of Edward Crow and the abrupt closure of his theme park. You encounter monsters and disturbing creatures in your search for the missing owner. While I am not the best when it comes to shooting games, I have fun with this. You have to solve various puzzles throughout this game, which I really love. That's my kind of vibe. Plus the abandoned theme park setting is super creepy. The monsters are even scarier. Like there were more than one time in this game where I jumped out of my skin playing this. And the story was one where it kind of starts off as a really simple premise that gets more dark and twisted as you reveal more. And I found myself really enjoying it. If I was better at like the weapons aspect of this game, it probably would have been a quicker gameplay also. If you're like a shooter game veteran, you'll probably finish this one quite quickly, but I would still highly recommend it for anybody. And so as I said, I love a puzzling game, and Is This Game Trying to Kill Me was one of the more epic puzzle games I've ever played. In the game, you're dropped in an old shack in the woods with an old computer and a video game that might be trying to kill you. This felt like an escape room with this like retro 8-bit style. That was really cool to see. Throughout the game, you have to solve puzzles like both within the game that you're playing yourself, and then also in the game within the game. Sometimes these worlds collide and you have to do things within the computer to affect your surroundings in the cabin and vice versa. I hope that explanation makes sense. But it was a really clever way for you to like solve puzzles and progress the game. The ending is kind of where this game a little bit fell off for me. It was a little bit unexpected. It did have multiple endings, which I didn't even realize that was going to be a thing. So I don't know how much of what I did throughout the game affected the ending that I got. Luckily, the game did make it easy for you to go back and do each ending, which we definitely did when I played it on Twitch. It almost felt like they didn't know how to end the game. And I don't know if I liked the ending in particular, but the journey there was so much fun, I kind of don't care. Then we have the Midnight Walk, which is, it's got to be like hands down, like at least top 3 like most beautiful games I've played so far since starting on Twitch. So this is set in a world of arts and crafts. We befriend a little lost lantern named Potboy that we have to transport back to Moon Mountain in order to bring light back to the world. So the game was made using claymation. That claymation was 3D scanned into the game, and the result is this gorgeous stop motion style, like almost like you're playing in the world of Coraline. I feel like the storyline and the setting absolutely gave Coraline vibes. I was so enamored with this game. I got so emotionally attached to Potboy. I don't think I'll ever fully recover from this game. He is the cutest little guy. I love him so much. This is seriously such a beautiful and inspiring game about creativity and the power of stories and like kindness and friendship, and it was so good. I can't recommend this one enough. It's so good, and it's quite a quick playthrough, and I'm not the best at games, and I finished this in 2 streams, I think. And finally, I have to shout out one of my favorite games I've played so far since starting Twitch, and that is Night in the Woods, which is set in a world of zoomorphic humans, and we play as May, who has returned to her hometown after dropping out of college. This is such an earnest game about like finding your place in the world and conformity and being your truest self, but not in a toxic way. There's also other themes of like capitalism, things like that, that kind of come later in the game, because there's this underlying story about May's hometown and the weird things that happen after people start going missing. When I played this on Twitch, we all went feral for the characters. My friend Kate, shout out to Kate, bought me this handmade plushie of Greg, who was definitely my favorite character in the game. I love my little Greg plushie so much. He sits on my desk all the time. And Kate got a May plushies. I like that we have like companion plushies from this game that we love. The story was so good, the art was so beautiful, the music is so beautiful, and it's such an immersive game. I can't recommend it enough. It's especially great for like this time of year because it's got like a lot of like cozy fall vibes and like spooky fall vibes. Out of everything on the list, this is definitely also like top 3 of like favorite games I've played so far. So let me know what games you would recommend for spooky season in the comments. Maybe I'll play them over on my Twitch at some point if I haven't already. You can catch me over there every Wednesday and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Until then, stay strange. Bye.